Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a Baddies review. The reunion, dun dun dun. Let me tell you something. I'm about sick and tired of being under the weather. I'd be up and I'd be down and I'd be down and I'd be up. And if you can hear it in my voice, I'm very nasally right now, okay? So bear with me. I'm gonna try to breeze through this. My breezing usually ends up being an hour. Hopefully that's not how long this takes. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get right on into it. So I will be reviewing parts 1 and 2 together. If it's too long, I'll just split them up. But if it's not, then, you know, it'll be one long part because there's still a third part to be done. So just like any other reunion, you see the people arriving in their sprinter vans at the back of the building, and then they go into their own separate dressing rooms. And of course, the people are in there having different conversations. This part really was not anything too exciting going on, but there was a conversation between Natalie, Scotty, and was it Anne? I don't remember who else was in the room. Girl, I don't know, okay? Either which way, who was in the room with who is completely irrelevant. What is relevant here is what they were talking about. One of the first things that happened was that Anne is no longer going by Anne Moore. She said that she could not stomach watching herself on the show. And I said, girl, us too, okay? We were not feeling Anne Moore. She said she couldn't watch it back. And I feel like she has obviously grown. She's not into the tomfoolery. And I could sense that from the very first, maybe second episode. I don't even know. But there was something that I said early on in the season where I was like, I feel like Anne would be my kind of girl if she would just stop doing the dumb stuff, you know? I liked Anne. I just didn't like what Anne was doing. So once she calmed down in the season, she got boring. My kind of gal. I love a boring girl. She doesn't go by Anne anymore. She is now going by Bianca. And Bianca is actually her real name. That actually gagged me because where did Anne come from? Maybe her name is Bianca Ann Moore. Sounds like it goes, but she doesn't go by that anymore. So we will respect her and call her Bianca. In the back rooms, one thing that I have to say that annoyed me a bit was Jayla confirming with Krishan what type of energy they were gonna have on stage. It was like she was asking, how are we coming? Are we like gonna be like rah rah rah, or are we just gonna be chilling? Like, what are we doing? Are we gonna have this same energy? Why do you need to ask another girl if you are gonna have the same energy that you're having backstage? That's not strange. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is they were talking and it sounded like behind the scenes, like after the show, Natalie was stirring the pot between the two of them. Also, behind the scenes, Trina and the host were having a little chit chat. From what it seemed like to me, it felt like Trina didn't watch the show, or like she was rushed into it. Like she was asked last minute to host, and so she had to do like she probably watched one damn episode. Okay, she probably watched the first episode and the last episode, and that was it. Because realistically, you didn't have to watch every episode to really know what happened this season, because they were carrying on with the same foolishness the whole season. But she seemed a little unprepared when the host was talking to her backstage. Like she didn't know what she was going to be walking into, which didn't make any sense because while they got on stage, she said that she did watch the show. I don't believe it. I don't think Trina watched the show, at least not in its entirety. Before I get into the actual stage, I want to speak to how everybody was dressed, because everybody was looking a hot mess. The person that actually came reunion ready to me was Persuasion. So Sway had on this blue dress, a gown, you know how you're supposed to dress for a reunion. Bree looked a mess. Natalie looked a mess. Krishan ended up changing, I think, and she ended up in just a damn Zeus hoodie because there was so much stuff that happened on the stage before they could even get a damn question out. Rolly, a mess. Slim, a mess. That looked like somebody's grade 8 prom dress, girl. I don't even know what the hell she got on. She has no sense of style. Jayla thought she was cute in her custom. No.
You thought you ate that?
The custom drip was not dripping. It was not. Anne's outfit looked like she was going to freaking carnival. Like, it was a mess. Oh, sorry, Bianca. Bianca's outfit was a mess. Scotty, I liked her top, but she didn't look like she was at a reunion. It's like none of the girls cared, okay? This reunion was, I guess because the show was a hot ghetto mess, they're like, I am not putting on my Sunday best to come to this ghetto reunion, except for Sway, of course. So, she's the only one that looked put together from top to bottom. Everybody else literally did not give one single crap about the reunion. if I'm gonna be on a reunion, girl, I'm gonna be dressed to the nines, and that's just what it is, okay? I'm gonna be, first of all, because if I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be dressed like this is Real Housewives. I don't care what show it is. I'm gonna be dressed like I'm going to the Real Housewives of whatever reunion show. So before the girls end up coming out onto the stage, we start hearing Slim and Rolly and Natalie going off, okay? And so Trina and the other host, I think her name is just something, okay? Her name's something J. Her and Trina were on stage waiting for the girls to come out, and all of a sudden there is battle royale going on in the hallway. And you hear Natalie screaming, you hear Rolly screaming, they want to fight, all this stuff. It's a little ridiculous. Like, get out on stage. This is what we're here for. We want to see you guys hash it out on stage or whatever it is. Like, them fighting in the hallway was so stupid. But to me, Natalie is very problematic, and she knows what she's doing. She's trying to provoke. So the fact that she was involved in this altercation and it wasn't some of the other girls, the fact that she started the altercation, you know, and she's the creator, she's the EP, she's the owner of the franchise, whatever. The fact that this is her thing and she's so unprofessional with it is beyond me. Couldn't be me. Zeus, holla at you, girl. Okay, I got ideas. Anyway, so we hear a commotion breaking out, popping off in the freaking hallway. Slim is over there calling Natalie a fat ass bitch. And I don't know, but if I were Rolly and my best friend started calling somebody else fat, and I know I'm fat, I'm going to be like, well, what do you think of me? Why are we going for the weight? Why are we going for the weight? But then I also hear Rolly calling Natalie fat. Everybody's calling Natalie fat. They're calling her Crimson Gin. They're saying the most about her all the time. One thing that I have to mention as well is that in the pre-show convos in the back room or in the dressing rooms, Rolly kept saying she does not give an F if Natalie is the EP or not. She don't run ish. Rolly said she runs things, okay? What it's giving is that Rolly wants to be in the position Natalie's in, but obviously is not. Now, people may argue that, but I think it's clear as day that there is a jealousy issue there. Whether we like Natalie or not is irrelevant. It's essentially is her show. Whether she has control of it or not is irrelevant. It's her show. So Rolly, if Rolly wants to be in a position of power, then she needs to bring her idea and start a whole new thing, because she can't take Natalie's spot. You know, Natalie has curated this thing and she's made it what it is. And, you know, she's invited people to be on the show and that's just what it is. But when Rolly speaks on Natalie, it definitely sounds like a hater vibe. Even if she doesn't like Natalie personally, I feel like her wanting to say that she runs this when she obviously doesn't is stupid. Like, it's actually just dumb. Another thing that's dumb is this nose. Okay, running like this. Oh my goodness. So they're in the hallway. Battle Royale is happening. Slim is very upset. Producers are everywhere. Security is everywhere, trying to hold people back. Freaking Slim chucks a full water bottle at Natalie. I think it got her. I think it hit her. If it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. But Natalie, Slim, and Rolly were out of control. It's actually embarrassing to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. It's embarrassing. So Rolly is wanting to beat Natalie's ass again. And she's made it very clear. She is yelling and she is screaming it at the top of her lungs. Natalie is saying, make me some more money. Make me some more money. Pretty much stating the obvious, which is that this is good for ratings, okay? And in fact, Rolly alludes to this. Actually, she doesn't even allude to it. She plain says it, that Natalie is so obsessed with ratings that she's willing to get her ass beat for it. I cackled. I said, ooh. But that wasn't until they got on stage. Now, while all this chaos is happening inside, all of a sudden, Sydney Star pops up out of nowhere like a damn jack in the box and is losing her mind outside, claiming that Natalie told her to show up, to pull up, to come. She's going to be allowed to be in there on the stage, blah, blah, blah. Baby girl, you was not a part of the show, okay? You were let go last season. She gives stalker vibes. She didn't pop up the whole damn season. She's showing up at the club. Now she's showing up at the reunion. You were not on the show. But she wants to get her fair one with Natalie, or she wants to address Natalie, and it's a hot mess. So the security is telling her, you gotta get back in your Uber. She's screaming out on the street side to the point where Natalie actually ends up coming outside and is like, what do you want? And Sydney is there yelling at Natalie, calling her a liar, saying that she's always lying to her, why she do that to her, all these things. And I'm just like, girl, we are tired. Oh, don't nobody give a damn about no Sydney Star right now. Like, you just accept that you are not chosen to be on this season and move on. Go get your bag. Like, what is this about? And so Sydney is actually outside claiming that she paid for her own flight to get there. And so she's not leaving because she paid her flight because she was told to pull up. On stage, the host actually stated that I think Sydney had been there the night before filming something else. So she knew that that's where it was going to be, and that's why she's there. A mess. So Natalie actually inside did say to let Sydney in. But she said it as though she didn't know Sydney was coming. When outside, Sydney is saying Natalie told her she should pull up. Somebody lying. It's probably Natalie, but somebody's lying. She said she's glad Sydney's there. Let her in. You know, I guess she wanted some more backup. Like, I don't really know why she's saying to let Sydney in. What the purpose would be, I don't know. Sydney has no good interactions with the girls that were on this season. They do not like her. Her relationship with Natalie is strained. Why she would be coming there, I do not know. Matter of fact, we're spending way too much time talking about Sydney Star right now. On to the freaking next. So, Natalie comes outside, kind of has like a confrontation with Sydney, but there's security everywhere. And then Sydney starts screaming that Natalie is a big chin ass bitch. Sorry. And that every time Natalie lies, her chin... every time Natalie lies, her chin gets bigger. And I was on the floor. I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and make fun of people's looks. Nobody's perfect, okay? Ding. Nobody's perfect. But her saying that the woman's chin is growing like Pinocchio's nose had me gone. Okay, I was done for the night. I was like, let me turn off this iPad. Let me turn it off because I am not about to sit here and subject myself to any more of this. Okay, I was hurt for Natalie. Okay, I'm so glad I ain't got no big chin. So after that chaos outside and inside, we head back inside, and finally the girls are making their way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. They make their way onto the stage. And of course, the chaos was just gonna start up all over again. Like, I don't even know if we got through the introduction. So once they get onto the stage, Natalie and Slim start going at it again. And realistically, I feel like Slim should just let Rolly handle Natalie. Same weight class, let them handle each other. Slim needs to just sit to the side, mind her business. That's all that needs to happen, okay? Trina and the host are sitting there looking like two deer caught in damn headlights. A mess. They don't know what to say, what to do. And I could tell right out the gate that Trina was going to be annoyed for the night. Whatever time they were filming this at, because when Natalie went outside to address Sydney, it was dark. Okay, so either that was 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night. Either which way, it was dark outside, and people got things to do, places to go, people to see, money to make. Trina ain't got all day, sweetheart. So I could see that she's like, this is so ghetto. Why am I here? Like, that was what her face was reading the whole entire time. At this point, the host is finally able to have it quiet enough, just enough, to introduce the cast members. But of course, just like in the season, Rock was talking over her. I don't know if she has like issues, but Rock does not shut up. Literally, during all the altercations, you could hear Rock talking, either mess or laughing or doing something. But like while the host is introducing people, you should really just be quiet and let her introduce people. I think they were all pretty much starstruck at Trina. Because let's be real, Trina is gorgeous. Pearly whites and all, like, she's gorgeous. So they're probably a little starstruck by seeing her. So it gets quiet enough for them to recap the season. Everybody was pretty much behaved during the recap. but that does not last long. Once the recap ends, Rolly starts egging Natalie on again and calling her a pussy, okay? And so when she says that, Natalie gets up and she's like, who's pussy? Who is pussy? Who is pussy? Okay, she is very upset about this, okay? She is pretty much approaching Rolly, ready to become Kangaroo Jack, okay? No, first of all, Natalie runs up on Rolly, doesn't get too close, but she gets close enough, and she had a jacket on over her shoulder. Her arms weren't in it. It was kind of just thrown over like a cape. And the jacket falls off. Natalie approaches Rolly to attack her, and I think she kicks her or tries to kick her. So she ends up slipping on the coat and falling down onto the floor. I was embarrassed for her.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Because how you gonna roll up on somebody, attempt to attack them, and you sat there on the floor now? You should have just sat there and ate your food is what you should have done, because you look crazy on your own show. It could not be me. This is what I'm telling you. It could not be me on the show acting a fool, a tomfool, and my name is in the credits. Ain't nobody else's name in the credits. You 36, like literally, like what, how old is she? This is too much, okay? Because even me at my big age, and Natalie is much older than I am. She's almost 40, right? Like, I don't even know how old she is. I know she got some years on me, but like, why would you do that? So her and Rolly get to squabbling, or at least they try. Security's everywhere, just as it was throughout the season. Security is always everywhere, okay? They're like God, everywhere. Oh my gosh. So of course, Rolly starts tagging Natalie, okay? And Slim, of course, tries to jump in, which then set Krishan off. Krishan is like, why you jumping in? Why you jumping in? And then she starts attacking freaking Slim. Meanwhile, Scotty's getting involved. Like, it's just too much going on this stage, because the fight should have just been a fair one between Natalie and Rolly, but Slim jumped in, and then chaos just continued. Now, I was actually a little surprised that Rock was asking, why you jumping? Why you jumping? Because during the season, that's what she had told Jayla she would be doing, jumping. Everybody was jumping during the season, okay? It was always multiple people fighting other people or one person. Like, it was like that the whole entire season. And Rock specifically said that because she has so many sisters, that's how they roll. And that's what she's doing for whoever she's friends with, which was obviously Jayla at the time. Honestly, I just feel like Rock wanted to fight because she'd been wanting to beat people up all season and, you know, kept getting prevented or whatever. But she doesn't have to do too much to show her ass, literally and figuratively. Because today she posted on Twitter, girl, never mind. I was disgusted. So I guess because Natalie realized Rolly ain't the one, nor the two, nor the three, or the four, she decided she's going to redirect her anger to Slim. She's much larger than Slim and can probably beat Slim up based on size. And so she stops messing with Rolly and decides to run up on Slim, who she does indeed hit. And of course, again, security is everywhere, like literally everywhere. So they're trying to hold everybody back. There's all kinds of chaos and screaming. Trina and the host are looking like this is ghetto as hell, as they should. Slim is now beyond angry because she felt like Natalie snuck her. Everybody's in fight mode, so I don't know if snuck is the right word, because Natalie was using this term too by the end of this episode, that she was snuck when she's the one that got up and approached Rolly to fight. After you do that, there is no sneaking. You approached me to fight and I snuck you after the fact? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You came in fight mode. You wanted smoke. I gave you smoke. Now you're mad? No. So I'm definitely on Team Rolly for this one, because at the end of the day,
Ain't no end of the day, bitch.
Rolly, all she did to get Natalie up out of that seat was call her out of her name.
Got it!
All she did was call her the P word, and Miss Natalie wanted to prove that she wasn't, and then she got her ass beat. Points were made. I don't know what she wanted, but because she couldn't obviously beat up Rolly, she decided she's gonna go for Rolly's best friend, Slim. So one side of the ring, we have Natalie and Slim. On the other side of the ring, we have Scotty, who is, I think Scotty needs to figure out who she is, baby, because being Natalie's minion ain't it, okay? And Scotty's position, by the end of episode 2, I was embarrassed for her. We'll get into that in a little bit, but like her trying to like have smoke with Rolly. Girl, what are you doing? Like she's claiming it was for the jumping mess, but realistically, it was Slim that jumped in the fight. So I'm confused as to why her fighting is not directed at Slim. Why is it directed at Rolly? Rolly is reading her for filth, okay? Reading. Rolly was trying to read everybody, okay? But she was reading her for filth. And Scotty and Rolly are pretty much about to go at it. And I'm just like, what am I watching? At this point, there was no reunion because they had sat down, introduced themselves, or were introduced. They ran the clip and nothing got asked. Like, nothing of importance was asked. Rolly ends up running up on Nat. She's hauled off. Natalie tries to run up on Slim. No work. I feel like Duppy really know who for frightened because why is she running up on Slim when Rolly is the one that wants to smoke? Why is she running up on Slim?
I don't like that.
So Persuasion at this point is like, this stuff traumatized us months ago. Why are you guys still mad? Now, I understand that it is reality television and they deal with the drama and everything that goes on. They live it in real time and then they have to relive it once the episodes air, which brings up old feelings. But none of these girls, except for like Anne and Scotty, are new to reality TV. They pretty much know what time it is. It's reality TV. Everybody watches reality TV. Whether you're watching Real Housewives, whether you're watching Baddies, Bad Girls Club, whether you're watching Gene Simmons' Family Freaking Jewels, girl, whatever the reality show is, you know how this go. I know how it goes. I know what the producers do. We all are privy to that information. So why, after the show airs and we know it's made for entertainment purposes, are we still upset? And that is what Sway was asking. And she was like, they're not about to traumatize me again. Like, what are you guys doing? Can we just get through this? Like, can we just do the damn interview or the reunion so we can get the hell gone? Because the true tea is, if you are on one of these shows and you try to not come to the reunion, they try to threaten you with lawsuits and like not being paid and all these things because they were essentially paid to be on the show. One much, damn, but they were still paid and they still have contractual obligations to be on the show. So they have to show up for the reunion whether they want to or not. That's why a lot of people have attitudes. If you watch like Love and Hip Hop and stuff, or even this show, they have an attitude. They don't want to be there. Especially not when the whole season was just stupid. And then you watch it back, of course. As a person on the show, you watch it back and you see Natalie's in her confessionals talking about, we need to get to the bag, get to the bag, get to the bag. But there wasn't no bag to get. So everybody's confused. Like, what was she even talking about? Because we were just up in there fighting every single day. Like, that was it. That was the whole premise of the show. As Sway said, why are y'all letting them traumatize you all over again? So because Rock had her issues with Sway on the show, but on the show we literally watched them squash it. So I'm a little perplexed at this point watching the reunion, why she starts addressing Sway, telling her to STFU because she's scary and that's why she ran over to where she was standing. I think she ran over there because she has her hair done, she has her makeup done, she's wearing a nice gown. She didn't come here for fighting. She came here to the reunion to talk about what that happened on the show. Address something as a mature adult. Like, we don't always have to be throwing hands. Like, what is this? I'm not expecting them to have the most class and be uppity and turn up their noses. I'm not expecting these women to act like something they're not, okay? You know, but at least walk onto that stage and walk off of that stage after the reunion with your dignity intact, because ain't nobody got that. Okay, they're all a mess. All of them. Now, I think Natalie might have run up on Rolly again. I'm like, girl, give it up. Are you tired? Are you not tired? Like, what's going on? Give it up. Just hang it up. We just want to get on with the show. She's tying up her own reunion. Like, this is not how a businesswoman conducts themselves. It's just not. We can't even excuse the behavior. Like, it's not. It's not even good for the TV, because we came for a reunion. We wanted some things to be shown, some unanswered questions to be answered. We didn't come for Natalie to keep trying to fight Slim and, what's her name? Rolly. Anyway, she tries to run up on her again. And then, out of literally nowhere, Scotty thought it was sweet. Baby, Rolly snuck her, okay? She got her big one. Shout out to Jalen one time. Listen, Rolly attacked Scotty, and Scotty never saw it coming, okay? Baby, I didn't even see it coming, and I was watching the damn show in 4K. I didn't see it coming. She ends up sneaking her, and this sets Scotty completely off. She is mad. And she then turned into Kangaroo Jack 2.0. Okay, so now we had two kangaroos on the stage kicking, because literally, if you're kicking in a fight, I think that is indicative of the fact that you may not be able to throw hands. Yeah? Usually, if you can fight, your first instinct is to use your fist. If you kick first, I feel like that shows that you really don't know how to fight and you're trying to get your opponent down and vulnerable, which is ultimately the goal anyway. But if you start with kicking, it's a little crazy. It's one thing to beat them up with your fist, and while they're on the ground, maybe kick them while they're down, but not start off with a kick, okay? But yeah, Scotty was not too pleased that Rolly punched her. She wasn't happy. I wouldn't have been happy either, okay? Now, everybody's makeup, except for, like, Rolly's makeup didn't look the greatest. I don't know if she was sweating and hot and it melted off. I don't know what it was. But her makeup didn't look the greatest. But everybody else's makeup looked okay. Except for maybe Brie. Nobody looked the greatest. Like, Sway looked the most reunion ready, like I said. But, like, everybody else did not come prepared. Krishan was wearing a blue wig. I guess she was representing her man at the time. It didn't look good. I don't like the blue on her. The orange is way better for her. Which, by the end of episode 2... Well, girl, let's get into episode 2, because their outfits, hair, makeup... irrelevant, because none of them were reunion ready. So that episode ends and we go to episode 2. This episode, just more chaos, just continues the Rolly and now Scotty fight. And first episode was like 46 minutes or something like that, and we got nothing handled but damn introductions. Okay, and we already knew these people's names, so that was completely irrelevant. Nothing else was said or rehashed or nothing like that. So this episode starts and it's just chaos all over again. Slim and Natalie are still going at it as well. Slim is very upset and she wants to get Natalie so bad that she hops off the damn couch and knocks over a whole lamp. I said, they is tearing this set up. Okay, somebody gonna have to pay for that IKEA lamp. Somebody's gonna have to do it. Okay, and it really should be coming out of Natalie's pocket, because Natalie is the reason that all of this chaos even erupted to begin with. And that's what's so funny to me, that she started this altercation and it trickled down and went to every damn buddy else that was on that stage. Like, literally everybody was getting into it. At this point, because there was so much chaos with that side of the room, what's her name? Scotty uses this opportunity to run up on Rolly again and hi-ya! Kick her.
Girl, sit down, sweetie.
Why did she do this? She kicks Rolly. Rolly falls, okay? She's jiggling all over the place. It's giving Jigglypuff. I'm like, you know what? They need to cut the cameras. Cut the cameras, because until these girls know how to conduct themselves like human beings, there don't need to be cameras rolling. There really doesn't. Like, I know we sign up to watch the tomfoolery. I know we do. But, like, we saw the whole season of that. We didn't see any real conversations happening. We didn't see anything, like, of substance or value. We didn't see them get to the bag. I want answers on why we didn't see them get to the bag that they were talking about. Oh, I don't know what the hell I just saw. So now, through all this chaos, once again, all you hear is Krishan. Krishan, and more Krishan. And she was saying that Natalie's eye is fat. She was saying that Natalie got a fat eye. And I'm like, ooh, I want to see this because I saw it on Instagram when they first filmed the reunion. You know, some tea was spilled online about it, and so I obviously already knew that Natalie got her eye blacked, but I thought that they may try to edit it out of the show, but they didn't. So we end up seeing Natalie flash on camera for 2.2 seconds. Like, it wasn't even 2.2 seconds. It was 0.0002 seconds. And her eye is literally like this. Like, her eye was so fat. It was leaning, girl. I said, what the hell is going on? Literally, her eye was leaning. So Rolly got her good, okay? And at that point, she should be embarrassed. And she should be pissed. And hell, if I was Natalie, I'd probably leave too. Yeah, I think I would have left. Because I'm not about to sit up on stage with my eye wonky. Like, her eye was literally like this. Like, I can't. Her eye was literally closed. Like, you could not see through that, okay? So because Rolly's pissed off, Rolly starts spilling Natalie's tea. She starts yelling that Natalie is effing a bad boy, Curtis.
Allegedly.
And that she is a sugar mama and all these things. And she is just spilling, girl. And I'm like, I knew she said that online. I didn't know she was yelling it at the reunion. She then, of course, comes for Natalie's parenting or motherhood and says that she needs to go home to her daughter, which I found ironic because I think Rolly has stated she has a son. So I feel like the same applies to her. Both of y'all are looking crazy on camera. Rolly's titties and smacked me in the face so many damn times for the season. Okay, her boobies were always falling out because she's always in altercations. And it's same thing happened on the stage. Like, you guys are literally embarrassing your children. Like, this is just a hot ghetto mess, okay? Black women, this ain't it. Because even on other shows like Real Housewives and what's that other show? And Married to Medicine, like, they have their moments on there where it is petty catty drama. And sometimes they get like really out of line, but not like this. Like, on a reunion stage, the most we've seen on like Atlanta, for instance, was when Portia and Kenya went at it about the scepter. Iconic TV moments. Literally, that's the only time we've seen them get super physical on a reunion, you know. And Portia lost her peach for a while because of it. So I get it's not the same network, it's not the same thing. They're allowed to get away with way more on Zeus, you know. But I still feel like they should at least try, you know. Because, yeah, they're both moms. What? I could not be on TV acting like that and knowing my kids are going to see it one day. No. Absolutely not.
Unacceptable!
At this point, Natalie is off the stage. She's gone backstage. And if it's my show, I'm for sure gonna be dressed like it's my show. Like, she don't look like she owns anything. Like, she's literally there in like a Fashion Nova two-piece, I don't even freaking know, and a Dior purse. I have never seen anybody make Christian Dior look cheap. This was the first time I've witnessed that, okay? Like, I don't know what was going through her head when she decided that she was going to wear that to the reunion. Like, even she doesn't seem to give a crap about the show. Like, nobody seems to give a crap. That being said, she was backstage pretty much saying she's out, enjoy the reunion, because her eye is puffy. Like, she's not going to sit on stage. See me? Well, it could never be me. But, like, if I were Natalie, I sure as hell would have just put some damn glasses on and went and sat on the stage. Now what? Okay. We're gonna put some ice on it. We're gonna get it together. It's not a big deal, you know. But she was ready to go. Okay, she was like, "Bye, see you never. I don't want to be here anymore." All this. Pretty much said that enjoy the reunion. Like she still gets a check regardless. She's just trying to, you know, pop her ting. But like, ma'am, please, you are just upset that your eye is big right now. Like literally, that's all she's mad at. As Natalie plans her great escape, she is greeted by the one, the only Sydney Star. Ma'am, weren't you supposed to be in your Uber by now? Like so much has gone on. And Sydney was still out there waiting for her? No, she's a whole stalker. She needs to be stopped. She is a stalker, okay? So Sydney is following Natalie now. The cameras are following Natalie. And Sydney's following the cameras, following Natalie. And pretty much trying to corner Natalie into having a conversation with her. We find out it is 2 a.m. Ain't no way in hell. I don't care how much the network is paying me. Ain't no way in hell y'all gonna have me there at no 2 a.m. Those ain't regular working hours. So what it's giving is I'm calling the labor board. 2 a.m.? What time did they start filming? 12 a.m. is like, that's it. Like 12 a.m. is the latest. They should have been up from like 6 a.m. to film the reunion. Like, it's so Zeus Network just seems really unprofessional. At the end of the day, it's a production company. It's a whole network. They're doing their thing, you know, but they are still so unpolished. And I think they need to create some better boundaries. And the people that are on the show also need to put something in their contracts. You know, they need lawyers because they cannot be having nobody up at no 2 damn a.m. to film this ghetto janky reunion where we can't even get the questions asked that needs to be asked. I know Trina was sat there like, I am never doing this again. Okay, I will be so surprised if she's back for next season. Anyway, so of course Natalie's outside throwing a whole fit. She's claiming everybody's fired because they let her get jumped. Ma'am, take some accountability. Like, she has no accountability. You are the problem. You started the fight. And these girls are not mad at Natalie for no reason. Like, she just has zero accountability, and that is what makes it so frustrating. Like, dealing with people like that is very, very frustrating. And so because she has no accountability, of course the girls are going to be mad at her. But I think in her head, she's like thinking, well, how come it's only Rolly and Slim that are trying to fight me? If I'm so bad, if I'm this big bad wolf, why are only they trying to fight me? Because they're the only ones that have the balls to. Everybody else is trying to make sure they're on the next damn season. So they're playing nice. I don't think Rolly and Slim give a damn. And that is what makes the difference between them and the other girls that are on the show. Also, maturity. You know, they might not be as mature to just sit there and realize, hey, this was a TV show. Yes, it was messy, but that's what it is. That's what we signed up for. Or maybe they don't think that's what they signed up for. Maybe they feel like they signed up to be on a show and maybe they were sold a dream. They were told they're going to be making money in different cities and they never made any money. So this was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. Once again, she ends up encountering Sydney Star. And this time, Natalie tells Sydney that they're going to let her in, but just not right this second because they literally just got on stage. I don't think they're going to let that lady in, okay? They're not. Inside, Scotty finally got her lick back. Barely. She got her lick back. She ran up on Rolly from behind, snuck her, and knocked the titties out of Rolly's dress, girl. She knocked her titties out of her dress. Rolly sat there holding her titties. It was a hot mess, okay? I don't want to see Rolly's titties ever again. Like, I have to sue Natalie, Zeus Network, and Rolly for subjecting me to seeing these boobs again. And I don't care whatever warning was at the beginning of the episode. Y'all never put specifically that Rolly's titties were going to be in my face for the majority of the damn season.
Bitch, you out of order.
I did not sign up for that. I want my Zeus Network coin back. Somebody needs to remove my check because that's not what I paid for. I didn't pay. This is not Girls Gone Wild. This is not OnlyFans. Why am I seeing so much titties? Girl, please. I can't. Now, I have started so many sentences with now because so much was going on. The show is about to commence, okay? We're about to finally get something done. But no. Krishan decides this is her moment to run up and beat up Slim. Because the whole time all these altercations were going on, Krishan was in the background talking about how Slim jumped in, and she's not trying to fight her, even though she punched her 2 times already. She hit her twice. She don't want no smoke with her, but like she keeps trying to fight Natalie. This is so blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, let it go. Give it a rest. Like, I get she's mad at Slim from way back when, from when the season aired. But can we please get on with the reunion? Because we're on episode 2 of the reunion and we haven't reuned, okay? We have not reuned. We are just fighting at the reunion. Camera didn't pan over to Slim. Slim got 1 eyelash, girl. I said, one eyelash, the glitter's everywhere. I would have been backstage getting my lashes glued back on. Meanwhile, like, these people are wasting time. If y'all are going to have me here at 2 o'clock in the morning and my eyelashes off because people are sneaking, people are fighting, I'm getting punched in my head, I'm going to leave the stage for a minute and go get my eyelashes glued on. And by the time I get back, everything should be settled, okay? Let me just go get my eyelash put back on. But no, she was sat there with her eyelash off. Girl. And everybody that was fighting looked a mess. Rock ends up leaving the stage. And finally, the chaos has died down enough to where we can try to maybe get some questions answered. Don't ask me what the lady asked, okay? Because before we knew it, Rock came back onto the stage and attacked Slim again. Scotty ends up coming back, chirping again. She just won't shut up because she's still mad about whatever's going on between her and Roly. So she starts talking her best.
Log out. Home key.
And this is when Roly starts calling her a damn kangaroo and talking about her kangaroo kick and saying she a kicking ass bitch and all these things. Oh my gosh. So once again, we sit down and try to get the conversation started. At the time that Rock attacked Slim, she ended up coming out looking like Mr. Burns because the whole front of her blue wig came off. They were just bald cap and then blue hair.
Oh, wow.
Hilarious. Bald cap and then blue hair on the sides. The whole frontal was gone. One hand on frontal. Gone. Okay? And I was like, was her wig glued? Like, what the hell? So her frontal gone. Her wig coming off. And Jayla is there picking up the pieces of the blue wig to collect to bring backstage. Rock is leaving the stage with security, okay? So she's in the back room now with Blueface and Jayla, and she takes off the rest of her wig. And Jayla's telling her to take her chains off if she's gonna like fight or whatever. And Rock's not trying to hear that or whatever. But then you end up seeing Blueface taking off Krishan's necklaces for her. So she's in the back room, I guess getting ready to come back out. They give her a Zeus hoodie and she ends up coming back on stage after the fact. So when she gets on stage, because she finally feels like she beat up Slim, she's able to calm down and we can finally get the reunion started. This is at like the 19-minute mark in the second episode. That means for over an hour and 15 minutes, we have watched these girls. Oh, actually, is that right? No, for over an hour. Not an hour and 15 minutes. So that means for over an hour, we've been sat there watching these people fight and not get any questions answered. So we're like 19 minutes into the episode, and finally we could sit down, and Krishan is out, and Trina and the host can finally ask some questions. So Rock feels like she was bullied on the season. Like they tried to bully her, son her, and she didn't like that. And what's stood out to me is that all of the people on the show pay extremely close attention to what the fans are saying. And I thought that was interesting because what it let me know is that they are all pretty much driven by what we say. That's why Anne did a whole 180. That's how Krishan knows that people did view it as bullying. They read into it, they feed into it, and it strokes their ego to know that the fans either like them or don't like them. Anne got a lot of hate, so she is like, I'm done with that. Whoever I was on the show, I don't even recognize that hoe. She no good, you know? And so, Rolly's the same way. I feel like whatever the fans say, they eat it up. They're like, they love me, they hate me, I gotta change something. Which is good. I feel like out of everybody, Bianca, aka Ann Moore, her transition is to me what the show really should be about. Going there one way and coming home completely different, but in a positive manner. Krishan speaking her truth. She's saying how she felt while those things were going on, and of course how she felt watching it back. And it seems as though she's mad at Persuasion all over again. And so the hosts are talking to her. Krishan was Trina's favorite on the season. Once Krishan speaks her piece and they move on to ask Persuasion about that situation, she starts to try to talk over Persuasion, which was not fair because obviously when she was talking, nobody was talking. Everybody was quiet, and you have to give everybody a chance to speak. So this was irritating for me to watch because I don't like that. If I'm speaking, be quiet and let me talk. And when it's your turn to have the talking baton, the talking stick, you have it, you talk, and we can have a real conversation. If you're going to talk over me, we can't speak. So that's what she was doing. And a part of the issue with these reunions are that they're allowing these girls to get belligerently drunk. Natalie was belligerently drunk. Krishan, same thing. I don't think Bree and Sway were like drunk or anything like that, but everybody was drinking. What does Drake say? Hennessy and enemies, that's one hell of a mixture. You don't do that to people, but that's how they get their ratings. So they did do it. And there should be a limit. It should be one bottle that everybody got to split. And that way people are not belligerently drunk trying to come to a reunion at 2 o'clock in the morning when you have Trina and Jashana or whatever her name is sat there to interview them, and they're wasting everybody's time. Sure, they're getting paid, but at the end of the day,
Ain't no end of the day, bitch.
who cares if their time is wasted at the end of it? I don't think it was ever supposed to be 3 episodes long. I think the reunion was supposed to probably be 1 to 2 episodes, but because of all the chaos in the very beginning and the wasted time, and people were probably late showing up and whatever the cases were or is, that's why the show went longer than it was supposed to, and that's why there's 3 parts to the damn reunion. Obviously, the more episodes, the more streams, the more money Zeus makes, so it's not, surprising that they've given us 1 full episode of fighting, and then half of an episode of fighting, and then next week, probably more fights. Like, I don't freaking know, but whatever. Pretty much, Sway ends up walking off of stage for a bit because she's frustrated with Krishan. I think Krishan might have tried to fight her. I can't remember. I feel like Krishan got up and was trying to fight her. I could be making stuff up, girl. I don't even freaking know. It was just so much going on, honestly. I was like, really? What is this? Because I really wanted to hear what Persuasion had to say, but Persuasion was trying to explain that she already apologized to her. She said something completely different off camera. Krishan is basically saying whatever apology Persuasion gave her was fake. You know, when the cameras were rolling, it was one thing. When the cameras were off, it was another, and yada, yada, yada. Which we've seen that on many different shows with many different people. Sometimes that is just how it goes. People do act a certain way on camera and then off camera. They not like that. I experienced it too when I was on VJ Search. And I was like, I'm not doing this. However you guys see me, this is how I am all the damn time, okay? On camera, off camera, this is me. So I don't understand why people do that. Like when the cameras get rolling. If anything, I'm going to clam up before I start doing extra stuff for the camera. Like, who does that? Be yourself. Be yourself. Anyway, Sway needed to like cool off because obviously it was a lot going on. And then they jumped to the backstage and show us Natalie, who sat there in her dressing room being disrespectful. And you could hear how drunk she is by just listening to her voice. She was very drunk and she was instructing, policing, demanding, belligerently telling them to open the door because she needs to hear what's going on her stage. Girl, you would have thought she owned that damn building. Girl, y'all rented that space, rented the venue to do the damn reunion. Please. She's like, I need to hear what the F is going on my stage, my stage, my stage. And I'm like, relax. Like, relax. Anyway, and if it's your stage, why you not on there, ma'am? Why are you sitting in the back with your glasses on because your eye fat? Like, it's not giving it was your stage, okay? It's not giving it was her stage. Rolly might be right, you know. This really might be Rolly running things because Rolly is set on your stage and you're in the back with a fat eye. The math is not mathing, Natalie. It's not. It's not. So then back on stage, Jayla is talking to the host. And the host had actually said something that I did not agree with at all. And y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. The host tried to say that the fans loved the big sister, little sister dynamic that was going on between Krishan and Jayla. No, we didn't. No, the hell we didn't. What show? No. Where did she see that? Because that was a lie from the pit of hell. We did not like it. It was BS. Okay, it wasn't giving what they thought it was giving. So no, we were not fans of Jayla and Rock's dynamic at all. The fans were not. Okay. That being said, Jayla was trying to speak her piece now. And Krishan is talking over Jayla. And Jayla checks Krishan, but Krishan was still talking over her because she is drunk. She's drunk. Just take her off the stage because she's being disruptive. So somehow, some way, Scotty ends up in that same back room as Natalie. And the way Natalie was talking to her, if I were Scotty, Natalie would have got a replacement chin that day, okay?
Damn.
Because the way she was talking to her, yo, Scotty, come here. Like, She was talking to her like she was her mother. And not even her mother. Like, she was just talking to her like she owned her. Like, she was a dog. And I couldn't believe it. I said, no. And Scotty's like, chill, bro, chill. No. She should have chin checked her, period. Because who are you talking to? She was talking to her. She was sunning the hell out of Scotty. And Scotty was there just accepting it. And she's telling Scotty what she needs to do and how she needs to move. When I jump, you jump. And then Scotty's like, when you jump, I'm going to jump. Embarrassing. No. I don't care what check you're cutting. Ain't nobody telling me that I have to move when they say to move. Girl, in what world? No, I couldn't believe it. She was talking to her crazy, okay? My own mother wouldn't talk to me that way. I was gagged. I was dumbfounded that Scotty was letting Natalie talk to her that way. After, in the very first episode, in the very beginning opening scenes when they're in the back rooms and stuff, Natalie was talking to Scotty Like how her and Scotty are real friends and they actually been doing this, been getting money together and all these things, traveling the world together and blah, 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 blah. AKA, allegedly, getting on in Dubai. No shade. No shade. That's what the streets is saying, girl. Allegedly. Okay. And that Slim and Rolly are not real friends because when the season ended, they went back to their respective cities and stayed there. They never linked up, did nothing like that. So they're not real friends. I live in Ottawa. My best friend lives in Toronto. We'll talk every day. We'll text every day. We might speak but once a damn month. And she might call me and tell me, I'm coming to your house with my kids. And she pop up and she'll stay for like 8 hours and she'll drive back the same day. That's the best friend. So just because Rolly and Slim don't hang out all the time and fly to Dubai to have a Saudi Arabian freaking prince defecate on them does not mean that they're not real friends. Let's just put that out there. Straight like that. Okay? Period. End of story. So, that being said, she was talking to Scotty, like her and Scotty are big chums in episode 1 or part 1 of the reunion. But then by the end of this reunion, you see that ain't no way these people can be real friends because I would never talk to my friends the way that Natalie was talking to Scotty, like drunk or not drunk. I won't talk to nobody like that. Like, it was just out of line and crazy and disrespectful. And Scotty needs to not be friends with Natalie if that's how she handles her. I ain't nobody's minion. Like, this is crazy. I was honestly like on the floor like, no, this is not real. Scotty looks stupid. Like, she actually looks dumb. And then right before they cut back to on stage, Natalie says something about a time her and Scotty put $500,000 in a suitcase. I said, yeah, they been in Dubai. She said they put $500,000 in a suitcase. For what? For what? The IRS is coming for her, okay? Because I don't know what she's talking about. $500,000 in a suitcase for what, Natalie? Oh, I caught that. And whoever edits the show is not a fan of Natalie, let me tell you, okay? Shout out to them because they're messy. Anyway, back on the stage, Sway is talking about the issue that her and Rock obviously had. And Rock, once again, hops up out of her damn seat and goes to attack Sway. And we'll see what happens next week, okay? There should not be a third part to this reunion because they didn't do anything all season. There really isn't much to talk about. The issue with Krishan and Persuasion was hashed out on the show. So it's really not something they need to bring up on the episode, on the reunion episode to rehash again, but maybe talk about it from a different perspective, like the bullying perspective and what the fans online were saying, not as though they didn't already hash it out. Why is Krishan mad all over again? These babies need help, okay? Send help for the babies, okay? They need some serious help. Real quick, I just want to shout out to a few of my members. Shout out to Dat760 girl. Shout out to Athena Henry. Shout out to Jalen Renee. Shout out to Raven. Takia Smith. Shout out to OG Ukabam. How do I pronounce that girl? Shout out to Sun Ray. Shout out to CCC Mom. Shout out to Taylor Victoria. Shout out to Now Nine. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Tony Love. Shout out to Deja Mitchell. Shout out to Barely Sane Genius. Shout out to Lauren O. Shout out to Jelly Bougie. Shout out to Sydney Moore. No relation to Ann Moore. Shout out to Sherelle Lewis. Shout out to Jessica Atkins. Shout out to Shaniqua Presley. Shout out to Naya Tarot. Is it Tarot? Tarot reading? Like tarot or tarot? Shout out to LaShonda R. Shout out to Life of C. Shout out to Cutie2 Honey. Shout out to Fancy Dish Soap. I love that name. Why is that your name? Shout out to Jordan H. Shout out to J Mock. Or is it Match? I don't know how to pronounce that name, girl. Shout out to Simply Her XO. Shout out to Tracy Schuler. Shout out to That Girl Rochelle. Shout out to Linda the Dawn. Okay, period. Shout out to Shantavia. Shout out to London. Shout out to Kiara Rainey. Or is it Kira? Shout out to Leah B, Tina B, T Alexander, Tamo, Alicia May, Corey Morris, Amber Lakely, Candy Warhol. No relation to Andy Warhol. Shout out to Brianna Savage. Shout out to Lil S. Shout out to Kay Dillon. Shout out to Marlo B. Oh, where's your purse? It says you were a member, but I don't know if you're a member. Girl, I don't see a purse there. Did you just sneak in here? How you get in here, ma'am? Shout out to Victoria K. Shout out to Summer Secrets, Rachel Dennison, Morgan J, Rhea Thorpe, and CQLA. Or is it CQLA? Okay. I love you all so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one.